your bottom line, and that it's actually a marketing tool that you can utilize as opposed to your typical marketing tool. Sorry, no worries. So what are the top 2 things that most experts, and when I say experts, I mean you guys, say to do when prepping a home for sale? Generally, it's a declutter and cleaning. So why should we declutter a house? Well, we want to declutter a house because it makes it appear larger. And the deep cleaning actually lets the potential buyer see the house and believe that it's more well maintained, because when you care for your house, you clean your house, and therefore they don't think things need to be repaired. So why not ask homeowners to prep the house themselves? Your first and main thing is homeowners have a really hard time being objective. And I'm sure that you guys have run into this where they will walk around their house. They can't smell their dog or their cat or they're smoking or anything like that. They don't see their clutter because they live with it every day, and that's what they utilize. So you want to show them that their house can show much better if it's decluttered and deep cleaned. A great example is appliances. And this is something that a lot of homeowners don't think about. It's an asset to the house to have these items in pristine, new condition. If they're not in new condition, it can actually be a deterrent for potential buyers because they say, I have to replace all the appliances in the home, right? Because they're not in good condition. If they are clean and they look like they're in new condition, it's not even something that enters into their thought pattern. But they open up a stove like this and they're like, ugh, this thing has never been looked after. We have to replace all the appliances. And that's the first thing. And then when they go to put in an offer, they say, okay, we have to replace all the appliances, so therefore we're offering, $5,000 less because we have to replace all the appliances. So homeowners, number 2, homeowners have checked out of this house and they've already checked into the next house. So they're thinking about their budget, right? They don't want to invest any more money into this house because they say they want it for the next house. They want new blinds, new this for the next house. So they're like, why should I invest any money into this house? And your answer to them is because you can make more money when you sell. Now, we're not talking about huge investments. We're not talking about, going ahead and renovating the kitchens and renovating the bathrooms, because if you're doing that, you're actually going to end up losing money. We're talking about highlighting the things in the home that are going to help sell the house. And the way to highlight those items is by decluttering and deep cleaning. So, return on investment stats for dressed homes. And when I say dressed homes, I mean homes that have been decluttered, deep cleaned, have minor repairs, and possible staging. So this is taken from HomeGain.com, and this was a survey done in 2009, and it's actually some U.S. stats. Because of the way our stats and stuff are here, we don't really have a lot for Canada, unfortunately. I wish we did. It would be really nice if we got into doing that and looking at what your marketing dollars are actually getting you, because this is something that I feel is really important. It's not how much you spend, it's spending smart. So as opposed to, and a lot of people think, oh, I have to replace all the countertops, I have to replace all this, I have to replace all the taps, I have to do all these things in order to prep a home for sale. And that's not spending smart, because you're going to put out so much money to replace all those things to make it look like the new condition, and you're not going to get your return on investment. That's just part of the marketing of prepping the home, but also in marketing the home with your advertisements. Do any of you kind of track what works as far as your marketing, like as far as using billboards, using buses, are any of you tracking the returns that you guys are getting on that sort of thing? And what is probably the best form of marketing as far as investment, return on investment? What are you finding?
Well, mine is online marketing.
Online? And do you find that word of mouth, like from past clients?
Referrals, yeah. I mean, if
Referrals?
you're talking about not marketing,
No, and see, this is where
referrals is I would say different than marketing.
Well, see, I feel that referrals and how you treat your client is part of your marketing. Because if you treat that client like they are the only client you have, and you give them that whole package and your undivided attention for that entire time that you are with them, and you do everything for them, you help prep their sale, you get their house on the market quickly, and you sell their house quickly, you're actually going to save yourself much more money in the long run, as opposed to having a huge marketing campaign where you're having to market your house with formal forms of advertising. And that person is going to be your advocate. And that is free marketing, right? Because they're going to go and they're going to tell anybody and everybody they know that this is the agent to use because they did A, B, C, D, right? That's free marketing that I think a lot of people are missing. And when you're prepping a home for sale, that's all part of it. When you're exposing their house at its pristine condition, it's the same reasoning why home builders, as opposed to taking people through, a house that's not staged or half constructed, they're not going to take. They have open houses where they've all been staged by professional decorators. They've been cleaned. They're in pristine condition, and they sell more houses, right? And I think a lot of agents have to figure that out, that if you're putting your house on the market, and it's not for every single house, you're not going to invest a ton of time and a ton of money into smaller homes that probably have a lot more sales with it, because there's a lot more people in the market looking for the lower priced homes in specific markets. We're talking the mid to high range, and also the other markets where there's not as much of a niche, or there's not as much. You really have to market those homes smartly. And we've found, in working with the agents that we found with, that the decluttering and cleaning and staging is what sets them apart from the other agents and helps them sell their homes faster, quicker, and for more money.